Dave Smith passionately opposes vaccine passports. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. New bro Jogan.
I'll tell you what I can't stand, which just like makes my blood boil, is when they use your basic freedoms as a negotiating tool. Like they're like, well, if you do X, Y, and Z, then maybe we'll let you have restaurants.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll let you do this. Like, who the fuck are you?
Get back some of your freedoms.
Like now you're using my freedom as a carrot on a stick to get me to do what I want to do. Like, what type of sick shit is that?
Dude, yeah, dude. Honestly, passports in general are oppressive. Respect. So are driver's licenses. Remember when I told you guys that being an American is about, eating jalapeno poppers at Applebee's? It's just literally that's it. That's it. If you can't get the jalapeno poppers at Applebee's, then what the fuck is the entire purpose of living like this?
Because this is not something that they're just going to keep with COVID vaccines. If there's a way that they can get you to show your papers and to show whether you have an app on your phone, whether you're, whatever it is that you have to have in order to be able to freely travel around the United States, they're going to keep that fucking thing.
This is, and I think objectively, the country went totalitarian for about a year.
But these motherfuckers are like, you need an ID. You need like a whole ass ID to fucking vote and like 2 witnesses in the state of Alabama, and that's good. But like, if you have a fucking vaccine passport, that is literally communist China. Like, get it together, guys. This is just like Nazi Germany if you have a vaccine passport. Like, yeah, dude, fucking literally every other country. Your logic doesn't make sense. What do you mean my logic doesn't make sense? I believe that there are already a fuckload of precautions that that you need to go around to try to vote illegally, okay? And it's not a thing that happens regardless. So adding additional measures is only to, stop more people from voting when we already have a problem with people not voting in this country, not the other way around. Whereas vaccine passports are not necessarily a bad thing. Do I understand that there could be an oppressive element to vaccine passports, specifically with not vaccinating certain communities, but American local governments have done a relatively decent job at trying to improve vaccinations within like black and brown communities and whatnot, even in fucking places like Florida, after people have criticized the Florida administration. Still, I do understand that there could be an oppressive element to vaccine passports, like a 2-tiered system where like people can't fucking go and enjoy dinners or whatever. But I think that it's good for and a necessity for the public good. This is how epidemiology works. This is I believe that it's a good thing, just like I believe that contact tracing was a good thing. Injecting fluids into your body and witnessing voting are non sequitur. Injecting fluids into your body is perhaps the stupidest way that I have ever fucking heard anyone describe what a vaccine is. You fail to realize that that would be a racist policy. No, I do not fail to realize how vaccination passports could have racially disparate outcomes. I do recognize it, but also I understand it from a safety point of view. Yeah, landing on the moon is the touching a rock and coming back type energy. Yeah. Vaccinations are just injecting liquids into your body. Landing on the moon is just touching a rock and coming back. Fucking getting in a car crash is just being forced to walk.
How long do you think we can go in living in a totalitarian society before that's just what our society is? Yeah. And there's not really a memory of the old normal, or at least that seems like the old times. That's not who we are anymore.
I don't think there should be vaccine passports for going to the grocery store or a restaurant, but I do think that there should be vaccine passports absolutely for like large gatherings, okay? Once there is a certain number of people that are gathering in an area, 100% you should demonstrate that you have gotten vaccinated. Hasan, come on. If you live in a rural area without vaccines, come on. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean if you live in a rural area without vaccines? Alaska opened up vaccinations to 16 plus a month ago, motherfucker. What are you talking about? What do you mean if you live in a rural part of the country? We're talking about international travel, and we're talking about vaccine passports being utilized in America specifically. Rural areas in this country were fucking vaxxed at higher percentages than cities because we fucking pumped the distribution as much as possible. This is literally a problem right now in America. This is only a problem for motherfuckers who don't want to get vaxxed up because they feel like they're gonna, turn gay or something when they get the vaccine. That's it. This is only a problem for people who don't want to get it. Most people that want to get a vaccine in the United States of America, it's literally free. Everyone that wants to get a vaccine in the US can get a vaccine. We're not talking about there's excess vaccines everywhere around the country. It's fucking bullshit, okay? Vaccine passports also exist for countries with exotic diseases. This is a system already in place for international travel to certain areas. So why do you not have a fucking 1984 George Orwin take when it comes to traveling to an African country, but you have a 1984 George Orwin take when it comes to traveling to fucking Europe amidst a pandemic that's still ongoing? 1989 George Orwin, brother. I fucked it up. I said 1984.
If you look at the proposals, isn't a passport, it's an app, right? With your medical history, with that can, you know, your data can be tracked, your location can be traced, all of these things.
I don't get it. Like, anyone that fucking talks about a surveillance state right now needs to be probably not fucking using an iPhone or an Android and from like a burner phone. You know what I mean? I don't understand. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, you could very easily do contact tracing already.
Or we can go to what is being proposed and talked about, which is a national caste system where there's one group of people who have basic freedoms and rights and one group of people who do not.
I don't understand. This guy is literally talking about having a caste system in a country that already has a fucking caste system, whether it be a consequence of the criminal justice system, where we have a caste system for felons, whether it be a consequence of the racist history and systemic racism that Americans have lived under, that has created a caste system for black and brown people. I don't understand, or a caste system in general for poors, okay? For working poors. We already have a caste system in our intersectional classist system. So there already a caste system already exists. The separation between those who refuse to take the vaccine versus those who wanted to take the vaccine and got to take the vaccine is not a fucking caste system. I've already established that if you want to get the fucking vaccine in America, you're going to be able to get the vaccine. If you have allergies or some other reason why you can't get the vaccine, then that's understandable. You can't make the argument that I'm being racist to anti-vaxxers, is what I'm trying to say. You can't make the argument in a system where there's like free vaccinations. Motherfuckers like simply cannot go out and get a vaccine, okay? It's free. They run them not 24/7, but 7 days a week. You can literally get a vaccination. You can literally get a vaccine. The only reason why motherfuckers don't want to get the vaccine is because they're afraid of it for dumbass reasons. So you can't turn around and be like, especially at a time when like the rest of the world is begging for more vaccines. Imagine being a fucking American piece of shit, a hog that has the opportunity to get a vax and just still is like, I don't want to do it, brother. Don't fucking take away my freedom. Fuck you, dude. I mean, seriously, get oppressed. Get fucked, get oppressed. Fuck yourself. I straight up 100% believe it. If you are an anti-vaxxer, you deserve to be oppressed. The rest of the world is fucking crying for vaccines. We have an abundance of it, and you literally just don't want to take it for idiotic reasons. You deserve to be oppressed every day of the fucking week.
And this is already happening. It's being done in New York City. It's being done in other countries. And there were reports in the Washington Post about the Biden administration meeting with these big businesses to say, oh, you know what? It's not really good enough to do a local level or a state level thing. We need to have one national standard. So you're talking about a national caste system.
Brother, the entire purpose of a caste system is that there are boundaries that you literally cannot escape because of socioeconomic factors or because of factors outside of your control. Refusing to take the vaccine because you believe it's going to forcibly feminize you is not a caste system. It's just you being a fucking moron. It's like being upset about traffic laws. It's literally the same energy as being upset that you can get ticketed for not having a seatbelt on when you're driving. You're a fucking idiot. And yes, you should be punished in some way for being a fucking idiot. Now, if the American government didn't do all it could to offer free vaccines to every single person, if there was legitimate boundaries that prevented people, like certain groups of individuals, certain people from not being able to get this vaccine, then yes, I would understand why this vaccination process or the subsequent passport could be oppressive. How does someone not taking the vaccine correlate to missing vaccines in other countries? We are incredibly spoiled here in the United States. We are so spoiled here in the US. we have an abundance of vaccines, while the rest of the world is literally suffering and starving and trying to fucking get vaccines. You know how people say, like, oh, you're not going to finish your food? There's starving kids in Africa. There's motherfuckers dying because there's not enough oxygen in India, and there's not enough people getting vaccinated in India because there's just far too many people there and not enough vaccines. We have an abundance of vaccines that we're literally holding on to so that dumbass hogs in like Orange County can say, I don't want to take this vaccine because it's going to make me gay, brother. Like, that's literally where we're at right now, where the rest of the world is fucking dying. We have moved beyond that hurdle and now are once again hurting ourselves in confusion, because that's what America does. We fuck shit up. We get 550,000 deaths as a consequence of COVID because we don't want to fucking follow the lockdown measures and follow protocol because that's anti-American, goddammit. We get fucking absolutely cumstered and dumpstered by COVID. Then finally we have an opportunity to like eradicate this problem and go back to normal. Fuck, I just want to go back to fucking normal. And then once we get to that point, there's still dumbass hogs who are like, I don't want to take the vaccine. I want to literally forcibly vaccinate these motherfuckers in their sleep, okay? I do not give a fuck about American values. I do not give a fuck about your dumbass concerns. You are a fucking delusional, moronic psychopath, and you are hurting other people. You are preventing us from finally moving on. You piece of shit. I do not care about your fucking personal feelings. You are a gigantic shitlord, and if you feel unsafe or you can't go to the fucking grocery store because you didn't get fucking vaccinated when you could and still have the opportunity to do so, but you don't want to, then fuck yourself.
This is an idea straight out of the Chinese social credit system. This is what they're proposing.
Oh my God, we have an American credit system, you fucking idiot. God damn, these people are so stupid. Like, yeah, the Chinese social credit system is fucking dog shit. Guess what? We have one too, by the way. I just like, it's like China. Having vaccine passports is like China. Yeah, dude, literally everything is China in that respect then. If having a vaccine passport is exactly like the Chinese social credit system, then what the fuck is our credit system that is already in place? Or what the fuck is, I don't know, fucking driver's licenses, seat belts, like zoning requirements and shit when you want to build a building? Like, everything is China. Any sort of government restriction is authoritarian inherently, okay? All manner of regulation is inherently disclusionary and authoritarian. It is what it is. That's how power fucking works. But the reality is that authoritarian action and that exclusion is supposed to be justifiable. Seatbelt laws exclude people that or target people that don't want to wear fucking seatbelts, okay? You are actually being discriminatory towards people that don't want to wear seatbelts when they're driving. But there are seatbelt laws regardless because it helps people not die as much when they're fucking driving around. Libertarians are going to get extra triggered by this, but age of consent laws are discriminatory against people that want to fuck people that are under the age of 18. But we understand and recognize that and respect that because it seems like a smart thing to fucking do so that people aren't manipulated and raped, statutory raped by adults, okay? That kind of oppression in that sense, in that theoretical sense, is understandable and justifiable. The credit card system is clearly not a social credit system. Yes, there are literally worse disadvantages in the credit score system than there are in the social credit system. Social credit system is worse because it shuts off amenities like high-speed rail and whatnot if you are seen as a delinquent person. But at least the social credit system, you can work your credit up by actually fucking throwing trash out or doing community service. Whereas in the credit card system, in the credit system that we have in the United States, the only way to work it up is if you fucking magically have money, okay? So there is advantages and disadvantages to both systems when you compare one another. In America, if you have bad credit, good luck renting a fucking home, okay? That's not a big deal though, right? Yeah, shut the fuck up. Also, we don't even have fucking high-speed rail to take away.
By the way, China already has the COVID passport. This is what China does.
It's like looking at contact tracing and saying that contact tracing is a remnant of the surveillance state and it's fucking damaging and devastating, and then saying China did contact tracing. Okay, so did South Korea, so did Australia, so did numerous other countries that were incredibly successful and are capitalist, by the way. So why the fuck are you just talking about China? Well, why? Because he's trying to fearmonger. This literally reeks of, well, you know, Hitler was a vegan lol energy. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that doesn't mean veganism is bad, motherfucker, just because Hitler was a fucking vegan. All right? Here's another thing China does. Fucking jail people for murder, okay? We do too. Does that mean that jailing people for murder is a bad thing just because China does it? Are you fucking stupid?
Why
would
would
also
it be?
Logically, it doesn't seem to make sense. If the vaccine is available to everybody who wants it and everybody who wants it gets vaccinated, who are we protecting?
Yeah.
if these folks are out there that aren't vaccinated, that are supposedly these super spreaders, and that's what we're supposed to stop, right? The idea is that these people who aren't vaccinated, they're dangerous, and we have to, you're not being a good citizen because you have been vaccinated. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep you.
Yes. If you are not vaccinated and you refuse to get a vaccine, you are dangerous and you are a piece of shit. Anti-vaxxers are fucking dangerous. Anti-vaxxers are dangerous. Anti-vaxxers are fucking baboons who are literally a danger, a literal danger to society. Sorry, that is straight up the fucking truth. You are not a good citizen. You deserve to be punished, and you are literally dangerous. Aren't they mostly dangerous to other anti-vaxxers, though? Not necessarily, because that's not how fucking pandemics or epidemics work. That's not how epidemiology works.
But I think the Biden administration has rejected this so far. Like there was a discussion where they were asked, and I think what's her name, Jen?
I don't even think it's going to happen, the vaccine passport, but it should. I don't have a fucking ethical problem with it. I don't think a vaccine passport is a bad thing. I think it should exist. And I think that you should make fun of anti-vaxxers. You should, at every step of the way, make fun of and apply social pressure and bully anti-vaxxers. There it is. I'm fucking saying it. It is not a position. It is not an acceptable position. It is not a position that you should maintain. It is not a position that you should ever fucking entertain either. It is psychotic, okay? It's like entertaining flat earthers, except flat earthers are just dumb motherfuckers that you can laugh off. But anti-vaxxers present a genuine threat. So that's the difference. Vaccine passports will hurt poor people, though. Most that aren't vaxxed are disproportionately minorities. See, this is the fucking take that has a little bit of credence, but it's still not entirely fucking true. In a lot of places around America, including fucking Florida, of all goddamn places, vaccinations are fucking free and are being focused and distributed in black and brown neighborhoods, specifically so that they can, specifically so that black and brown people are encouraged to get the vaccine. 90% of the country is within a 5-mile radius of a vaccine distribution center currently. I am the #1 criticizer of inequality baked into the American capitalist system. This is not an area where I will fucking say that there is a tremendous level of inequality. The inequality of black and brown communities not vaccinating themselves or not getting vaccinated does not necessarily stem from the economic inequality. Surely that is a hurdle, no matter what. Obviously, that's always going to be a hurdle. If you're black or brown, if you're poor on average, you're going to have a harder time being able to get a fucking vaccine because you're going to have a harder time getting off work. But right now, as it stands, the real reason or the most dominant reason as to why people aren't getting vaccinated is not because of the economic setbacks, but instead because of unreasonable fears that have culminated through watching fucking Facebook and sharing dumbass misinformation. It's literal misinformation. That's the main cause for most people not wanting to get the vaccine currently. Overall, across these 43 states, the percentage of white people who have received at least one COVID vaccine dose is 35%, is 1.6 times higher than the rates of Hispanic or black people, which were both at 22% as of April 19, 2021. I'm not saying that there isn't a disparity, by the way. I'm saying that that disparity is caused by misinformation and people not wanting to get it. That misinformation being more prominent in black and brown communities could be linked back to socioeconomic conditions, but ultimately it's still the main cause is people like this having these sorts of conversations. I'm sorry, like saying vaccine passports are oppressive to minorities would be a reasonable position if vaccines were not literally available to everyone and being promoted to every community. Okay, come on, guys, let's be fucking real. Okay. I hate this fucking lib shit where we just act like certain communities don't want to fucking take the vaccine, and it's not a consequence of misinformation. Like, it's ridiculous. It's still the highest percentage of people are still Republican men who refuse to take the vaccine. By the way, chill the fuck out. You can criticize them, but all of a sudden, when it comes to like older black people not wanting to take the vaccine, you're like, oh well, it's different. Yeah, the Tuskegee syphilis experiment and numerous other experiments conducted on black and brown individuals probably play a significant role in people having genuine concerns over getting vaccinated. You should work towards eliminating that in its entirety. You sound stupid as fuck. I've had vaccines before and that's fine, but I will not take this one because I understand how it fucks you up long term. Listen to doctors, not politicians, who try and force you to take a vaccine and take it themselves. It's a medication, not vaccines, especially since you can't. Yeah, see, like fucking idiots like this. Guys, the thing that fucking frustrates me is when people say, well, black people have a legitimate reason to be afraid of fucking vaccines. Okay, but black people have a more legitimate reason to be afraid of COVID, okay? COVID has killed black people in disproportionately high fucking rates. So the problem in that circumstance isn't to baby people, it's to literally educate as many members of any fucking group as you possibly can and make it so that it's easy and accessible. Little difference in vaccine hesitancy among white and black Americans, poll finds. Yeah. It's Republican men that have the highest rate of hesitancy for vaccines. White men without college degrees, highest rate. White evangelical Christians. Like, so you are caping for a smaller percentage of black people that are saying no. It's fucking white savior shit, bro. I'm sorry. Fucking 49% of Republican men are like, I'm not gonna take the vaccine, brother. And meanwhile, liberals, rad libs in my community are like, well, what about black people who are like, not gonna take it, sweaty? Okay, then yeah, they shouldn't take it then. All right, are you happy? Is that what you want me to say? Okay, you got it. This shit blows my fucking mind. The idiotic takes from anti-vaxxers and anyone that fucking babies any group like this that don't want to take the fucking vaccine.
So there's all types of these problems of how you would implement it. But it's still worth noting that they floated this out. Yeah. Like, there are these people in our government who would go Chinese fascist on us
if they could.
I love that the American government is brutal and horrific to marginalized communities, and yet like the real oppression is the fucking dumbass chuds who don't want to take the vaccine. Like, that's going to be the real oppression towards them. Like Chinese fascism, he says. It's great. The American police state murders unarmed black people, and you're like, that's you got to do that. You got to fucking do that, dude. That's you got to do that. It's just normal. But a vaccine passport, oh my God, that's Chinese fascism. Chinese Chi-Com fascism. Calling shit Chinese now for chuds is like the same as calling everything cancel culture. You know what I mean? Like everything is fucking Chinese, dude, and everything Chinese is bad. Of course, we can't do Chi-Com, dude. I mean, that would be bad. Fucking any sort of rule or regulation. Well, China has it too, so obviously that means it's bad.